So I'm making a recipe I've never made before. It is chicken enchiladas, but it's made a little bit different. It's not made with enchilada sauce like the red sauce. It's made with this cilantro sour cream type sauce. And with it, I'm going to make some cilantro and lime rice. So I've got the chicken in the air fryer. It was marinated in taco seasoning, smoked paprika, and some smoked salt and olive oil. So it's done. So I'm going to get it out and shred it, work on the sauce, and work on putting the rice together. And we're going to have this tonight for dinner. But I'm also, it's going to do double duty like all my meals have been. And I'm going to put it in the super cubes and freeze it. And hopefully, I'm thinking I might get I'm hoping to get at least 4 to 6 meals out of this. So we'll see. Now, this little bit's going to go for my cilantro lime rice. I love using a rice cooker. It's just, you just put it in it and you forget about it. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and put 2 cups of rice in this, and you add double the water. And I always use bottled water for some reason. I don't know why. Whenever I make rice, I just use bottled water. And I'm just going to go ahead here and add the cilantro. It's about 1/4 of a cup, give or take. I'm not really good at measuring, y'all. I'm a country cook. I kind of eyeball things. I know you really should follow the recipe. Same thing with the salt. I just do salt to taste. And I had used my little wooden spoon that's on the top of my little salt cellar, and I used about 3 of those. So it's probably a little over a teaspoon, I'd say, of salt, but to taste. And then the olive oil, the recipe I had said a tablespoon of olive oil. So. And this looked about like that to me. I eyeballed that too. And then it says the juice of 1 lime. And I really need to get me one of those juicers. I have an automatic juicer, but I need to get one of those hand ones because this lime was really hard. And then the next thing you do is chop up some garlic. And I'm using my elephant garlic from the garden. And they're really big cloves. It called for a clove of it. And my cloves are the size of like 3 cloves. So I'm just chopping up a little bit of that garlic and putting in. And yeah, I know, I put on here, I used my knife the wrong way. You're not supposed to use the sharp side, but you know what? I did. Now that I have the rice on cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start this sauce. Y'all, it is the best sauce I have ever had before in my life. And it's just basically sour cream. And I went ahead and added a cup. I eyeballed it too, a cup of sour cream. And into that, you're supposed to add 1 large clove of garlic. And mine was probably more like 2 cloves. And then a whole bunch of cilantro. And I already washed and cleaned that. And you just put it all in a blender. And then it calls for 2 jars of salsa verde. And I absolutely love the Trader Joe's salsa verde. It's got just the right kick of heat. And it's not too hot. It's not too spicy. And it calls for, like I said, 2 jars of that. So you just put all that in the blender and then the juice of a lime. And I'm going to struggle again with this lime. These limes were so hard. It was hard to get the juice out of them. I even rolled them, but it was really hard to get the juice out of them. And then you just put that in the blender and you blend it until it's smooth. And y'all, I'm telling you what, this seriously was one of the best tasting sauces I've ever made. And it was so simple. And Greg made me make even extra so he could use it for chips. Okay, this is the chicken that I made in the air fryer. I did about 5 thighs, and they weren't really big thighs, but I just went with 5 because Greg and we don't eat a whole lot anyway. And they had marinated for a couple hours in the refrigerator, and like I said, that taco seasoning, smoked paprika, and some olive oil. I mean, you can use any spice you want. I just chose that. And then I put them in the air fryer for like 20 minutes until they were done, and they tasted so good. Now I have all that together, and I went ahead and cut the chicken up in little bites. I'm going to put the little casserole. I don't know if you call it a casserole. You can call it a casserole, an enchilada type casserole. I'm going to put them in these little all-clad dishes, these little bakeware dishes that I found at a yard sale. I have been using these guys for everything. I absolutely love them. And you just kind of do it like you do a lasagna. Put a little bit of sauce on the bottom, your tortilla, and then you just do your layers. And you can do it any way you want to. This is the way I do it. And then you put your chicken and you put your cheese. And I used pepper jack cheese, and I shredded some Monterey Jack cheese. And I need to get a shredder too. I fought shredding that cheese because I bought a block of it. And I didn't shred a whole lot of it because I had the bag of pepper jack. So then you go ahead and you put the chicken mixture in, and then go ahead and put more of the sauce. And then you can put cheese and then the tortilla. I really didn't heat the tortillas up because they were already pretty pliable, and I knew I was going to, throw them in the oven. And that's basically all you do. You just layer it like you do a lasagna. And then I put it in the oven. I think I put it in the oven at 375. And it didn't take them very long to cook at all, y'all. Not very long at all. And they tasted so good. They really did. They were really, really good. And y'all, these 2 little portions ended up being too much for us. So Greg and I shared one, and we used the other one for lunch the next day. And so I went ahead and made 2 more in the freezer cubes, and I put the cheese on the bottom. So when you flip them out of the freezer cube, the cheese will be on top when you bake them. And this made 2 more portions, which is actually would be 2 more dinners for us, or 2 more lunches, because we'll share them. So I ended up getting 4 meals out of a $5 pack of chicken, and the rice, the salsa verde, the sour cream, the cilantro, all of it total. I probably spent, and the tortillas, I probably spent between $15 and $16. But I got 4 meals, so that would be what, like $4 a meal. Plus, I got all the extra rice and the extra sauce, because we still have quite a bit of sauce and rice left. And I actually made soup the other day using one of those sauce cubes, and it was so good. I took a chicken noodle soup base that I had frozen and made tortilla soup and used a cube of that sauce in it. Oh my goodness, I'll have to put that up and show you how I did that, because it was amazing. It was really good. But anyway, this is another freezer meal, and it turned out really good. I highly recommend this one. But anyway, y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.